Welcome our guests so that we can start your stock-specific questions. We can start answering them. Avinash Gorakshakar and Kunal Bothra, our guest on the show today, joining. Hi, welcome and good morning, gentlemen. And looks like a good Friday and a happy Friday. Lots to discuss. But Avinash, let me begin with you. What's the sense of the markets? A good end to the week. Can we say that finally, or no?
Yeah, good morning, Kavita. I think quite rightly, it's a good Friday compared to yesterday, when there was a bloodbath in the markets. I think clearly, today markets have seen a bounce, some amount of relief, coming post Donald Trump saying that Israel should not bomb the gas facilities or the oil facilities in Iran. I think clearly, markets are expecting that over the next, say, 1 or 2 weeks, some solution on a ceasefire or maybe a kind of a diplomatic kind of method of ending this war should come in. And that is something which the markets are possibly positive about. And that's the reason the bounce back has come in. But on the caveat side, the rupee has weakened quite significantly. And LNG prices have gone up. So I think, it's going to be a little tough for the Indian economy. But I think net today can be a good day. Hopefully, the second half session should also be good. But I think hopefully compared to yesterday, today I think some buying, specifically in some stocks, should come in because yesterday the markets had corrected sharply and a lot of value is now slowly emerging. But hopefully, once the war ends, you'll see a trajectory going upward. So I think one needs to keep a stock specific view, and I think today should be a positive day. When we close the market.
This is Mr. Anand from Goa. Hi, Anand. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, fine.
So what's up? What's your question?
Yeah, so I have Crompton Greaves Consumer Electricals, which I have been accumulating slowly, and my average price is 360 around. Okay, 100 shares. My question is whether I should average and add more at this price. My horizon is around 3 years plus actually.
Okay, lovely. Avinash, I'll come to you. What's going to be your take? How can you help Anand?
No, I think he selected the right company, a very good kind of parentage, and most importantly, this is a sector which is expected to grow quite rapidly in the coming financial year. See, my sense is if the investor has a 3-year call, then I think definitely he should average. My sense is that this company should definitely bounce back in FY27, and in terms of the performance in Q3, it has been quite satisfactory. The Q4 should also be good. Typically, I think FY27 should be a good year for the domestic electrical kind of segment which the company operates in. Hopefully, I think in the next say 12 to 15 months, you could see a good earnings traction coming in. So I think you can average now and keep a time frame of at least 12 to 15 months. You should be able to get a decent risk reward going forward.
All right, come to you also, Avinash, for the fundamentals on this, because Kunal is saying that this is a good stock to hold for the long term. Now, this is a luxury, watch brand from Switzerland, and it's India's largest authorized luxury watch retailer with 80+ stores. In the long term, do you see that story to be intact with perhaps discretionary spend picking up, once this dust settles? Avinash, what would be your take on ethos?
Yeah, definitely. This is a good company with a very good long runway for growth. In fact, my suggestion to the investor is that if he has a 5-year view, he should actually buy the stock in an SIP fashion. I think, there's no need to buy everything in one shot. Probably, you could get the benefit of the market volatility. It's better that he averages continuously and buys small bits and pieces in the stock and stays invested for the longer term. So I think, in this process, his average cost also would be workable, as well as, the runway available for him would be quite large. So that should be his strategy.
Vijaya Kirti. Hi, good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Yeah, fine. Thank you for connecting me.
Thank you so much for sending us your question, sir.
Yeah. So making use of this current correction, I would like to invest 2 lakhs. Okay. I need at least a minimum 3 stocks to invest these 2 lakhs. Okay. My horizon of lookout is 6 months to 9 months to get back my capital.
Okay, 6 to 9 months. Let's take a view from both our experts. Avinash, I'll come to you first.
I think, Kavita, 6 to 9 months, I feel is a shorter period. I think he should at least stay invested for the next 12 to 15 months. But I think if he wants to get into stocks as of now, I would suggest large cap stocks like Indian Hotels, typically, auto stocks like Mahindra and Mahindra, hospital stocks like, say, Apollo Hospitals, maybe smaller companies in the hospital space like Yatharth Hospitals, and in the cold beverages space, something like a Varun Beverages. So I think, he could possibly have a diversified portfolio, and I think follow an SIP approach rather than allocating capital all in one shot, and stay invested for the next 12 to 15 months.
This question is coming from Venkatesh from Indonesia. He says he's bought in 125 shares of Clean Science at 840 rupees and 500 shares of Crompton. Crompton we have already spoken about. Can I hold it further at the current price for the next 2 years? Avinash, let me come to you for this one. Clean Science he's bought at 840 rupees. Is it a good hold for the next 1 year?
See, I think Clean Science has been one of those companies, Ankita, which has not delivered at all on the numbers. In fact, the company got listed at a significant premium, but I think numbers have not been great. In fact, that is the reason the markets have derated the stock. So I would suggest that yes, he can continue to hold for the next 6 to 12 months, but numbers have to deliver. I think a better choice could be, if you could look at some other companies, say within the capital goods space, something like an Action Construction or maybe even a Crompton, which the investor has got. He could add a little bit more. I would say Clean Science, unless it delivers the numbers, the markets are not going to re-rate the stock. So he can hold on, but keep a time frame of 6 to 8 months and then review and then take a call.
Container Corporation of India, 200 stocks at 512 a piece. I can hold for the next 3 years.
Okay, Avinash.
Yeah, I think Kavita, this is definitely a large, logistic player in the railway space, and I think earlier the stock was in limelight because the government wanted to get some strategic investor here, but unfortunately it did not materialize. I think the railway sector has been not making a very big noise of late, but the kind of investments the government is planning to make in terms of the logistics space, I think Concord definitely has a very strong runway. But yes, we'll have to look at the next financial year numbers. I think Q3 numbers were slightly soft. So I think if the investor can hold on for the next 2 years, he should definitely think of even averaging the stock in a SIP fashion. But I think stay invested for the next 2 years.
All right, guys. Can he accumulate Shakti Pumps and TTK Prestige for the long term? Avinash, let me come to you for Shakti Pumps and TTK Prestige. What is your outlook?
So I think both the companies should do well. Shakti Pumps is largely into solar pumps, and TTK Prestige is into consumer durables. Specifically, the stock has been into limelight of late because since the oil crisis, induction rice tops and basically induction appliances have demand has shot up. So to that extent, I would say that both these companies are operating in a sweet spot. They should continue to do well, but I think the investor should take at least a 12 to 15-month time frame here. Only then I think in both these companies you could get a better risk reward. In the short term, I don't think there could be a big upside. So keep that in mind.